No exit. Now, the lockdown will affect the movement of the people and all the borders will be shut. And we'll be chatting to our reporters, Siphephile Kunene and cameraman Frank Goqwana. They're currently at the NKOMAZI Toll Plaza in Mpumalanga with the MEC for Community Safety and Liaison in the province. Siphephile, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to this special broadcast of the countdown to the lockdown, to the 21-day lockdown. We've seen so many South Africans making frantic efforts to try to, to make their way home out of Gauteng to their various homes. So I see behind you there's still a little bit of heavy traffic. So do you want to take us through where these cars are going to?
Yes, Mpiwe, there's still a lot of traffic on the N4 making its way towards Mozambique, just to make sure that they are on the other side before it's 12 o'clock, which looks like it's mission impossible right now because they're still on the road. By this time, they should be at least at the border so that their stuff is processed and they are going through. But with me here is the MEC for Community Safety, Security and Liaison, Mrs. Gabsile Shabalala. Just briefly tell us, MEC, what plans do you have in place as a province to ensure that people adhere to the 21-day lockdown?
Thank you very much. I think as it has been outlined, announced by the President, that South Africa today, on this day, at 12 o'clock will be a lockdown, simply to mitigate on issues of minimizing the virus to spread. As a province, we are also cooperating, we are complying with what the President has said. We are going to be all over. The police are going to be visible. We are going to have operations, programs that are speaking to that. We are going to search. We are going to make sure that there is no movement in and out of the province, that people who are moving in our province are people who are permitted to do so. People who are essentially services, not anything else. We are also going to respond on the regulations as well as the province.
How are you going to fight crime during this time? We know that people, when they idling around, there's space to commit crime.
I think the patrolling as well as the police stations that are going to be operating, we are not going to close down our police stations. We are still going to work as normally, but we just want to request our communities to stay in the house, because we believe that people, when they're inside the house, there is no time for crime. But if that happens, we are ready also to fight that.
Thank you so much, MEC. We're moving on to the Provincial Commissioner, who will be telling us exactly what kind of security will they be having as a province. PC, briefly tell us, what will we see on the streets tomorrow? 12 o'clock, it's supposed to be where the shutdown starts.
Yes, there will be a shutdown as directed by the Commander-in-Chief. We shall be deploying our forces around the border and the borderline. We shall be deploying in the residential area, and we shall be patrolling the malls, because the instruction is that malls shall be closed except for those providing essential services like supermarkets and pharmacies. So we shall be monitoring the activities of the people. The only people that are allowed to move in and about the city are those who are doing essential services, like those who are working for municipality, dealing with water, with sanitation, with electricity. Those are the people that must move around. The medical teams, the doctors, the nurses, those are the kind of people that are supposed to move around. So we'll be ensuring that we want to also make sure that they move around with their permits, so that we are able to identify them. Because all those people who are doing non-essential services, as described in the regulations, shall be staying at home. We are happy that this province has got people who are law-abiding citizens, who understand exactly what is it that we are faced with. We are faced with a dreaded disease that kills. And people understand that the reason is to protect themselves from the disease. This is not to just to cap their movement.
General, we have this traffic here. It's still flowing towards Mozambique. How possible is it that by 12 o'clock they'll all be on the other side? Now we just minutes to 12 o'clock.
The regulations stipulate that essential traffic on cross-border services shall not be interrupted. So some of these trucks and the vehicles that you are seeing here shall be in a position to explain at the border gate whether they are carrying essential goods or non-essential goods. Those who are carrying essential goods that are required in the neighboring states shall be allowed to go through. The regulations allows for that. So it should not be a blackout, because we've got neighbors who are landlocked, who are depending on the supplies that we are getting in this country to sustain their economies. So we are well aware of that, and the regulation have taken care of that.
Thank you so much, Provincial Commissioner. That was Provincial Commissioner Mondli Zuma, who is responsible for Mpumalanga, telling us that they'll have soldiers, members of the SANDF deployed. They'll have police on the streets who will make sure that people who are outside are those that are permitted to do so. Transport will be available in the morning, just like the Minister of Transport made an announcement, as well as in the evening. But those that will get into that transport are those that provide essential services, and they have permits to do so. Back to you, Siphephile.
Now, Siphephile, before I let you go, we've been chatting to our reporters in different parts of the country to just share with us the various communities' state of readiness to embrace this 21-day lockdown. And I spoke to someone earlier in the day from Mpumalanga who said that him and his various business partners will not heed to these restrictions that have been imposed, by the authorities to try curb the spread of coronavirus. And just in terms of the readiness, what is the mentality in people of Mpumalanga, the ones that you've been speaking to, with regards to whether they will be taking heed of these restrictions?
Those that we've been speaking to in the province since yesterday, since we've been moving around talking about COVID-19, are ready. They are actually afraid of the disease because they don't even want those who are crossing the borderline illegally. They said those are putting them in danger because they cross without being screened, they cross without being checked. What if they bring the disease this side? They are in danger. Therefore, most of those that we spoke to are ready and they want to comply. And those that we met along the N4 earlier today, because we were in Middelburg, where the Department of Health was conducting screenings for people coming from Gauteng into the province, because people in the province were afraid, seeing the influx of people coming from Gauteng, and the numbers are high in Gauteng. So the government had to sort of instill confidence that we are working on this, even though we cannot as yet limit people's movement. We will be screening them. Those that need help, they will be taken to the nearest hospitals where they will receive the necessary assessment and are placed where they are supposed to be. But here, the sense that I got was that people are afraid. They want the government to deal with this. They are supportive. Of course, people don't always agree. There are those who have a different idea altogether, because people still don't think it will get them until they see it happening, maybe with a friend or a relative or someone very close to them. Otherwise, the majority, Siphephile, are compliant.
All right, it's so good to hear that, Siphephile. Now, thank you so much for your time, and do take care. Wash your hands, sanitize, and make sure that you get your media card and as well as your permit to perform, essential services, just so you're not barred by the armed forces to go to work, because we definitely need to get, some sort of updates from Mpumalanga moving forward for the next 21 days. Siphephile Kunene, thank you so much for your time. That was a reporter, Siphephile Kunene, speaking to us live from the NKOMAZI Toll Plaza in Mpumalanga.